welcome to all people join us today. Welcome to Thai Talk Season 2. As promised, today we have Miss Sarmishta Parmar with us, and she is the early childhood educator, committee member ECA Ahmedabad, community engagement lead, and curriculum development for early years lead at Story Circle Edusaarthi. She is the admin of Parent Station Ahmedabad and a member of SEAIC Storytelling Community. Welcome, Sarmishta ma'am. And ma'am's topic today is etiquette in modern day communication using digital media.
Thank you so much, Mona, for that wonderful introduction. And as you all know, that we all are glued on our smartphone 24 hours on our laptops, and so we need to follow few etiquettes which are going to be useful when we use our social media. I'm sharing my PPT with you all, and as Mona has already given my introduction, so I'll not focus more on this slide. It's always my pleasure to be connected with Tai. Tai is doing a wonderful job by calling all the speakers on their platform and arranging such talk shows, which are going to be very much beneficial for all the educators out there. As we all know, technology has completely taken over our lives and greatly influenced the way we communicate and deal with people. So, today we are going to know more about modern day communication using digital media. Our professional meetings are now conducted online. The physical meetings which we used to have in our schools are now conducted online. The conversations or the communication which we used to have during going to a coffee shop, and we used to sit and we used to converse, but now we are all on WhatsApp chat or Slack and all other social medias. So, today, how can you make your social media and your messaging your best tools by knowing few etiquettes and skills which you are going to follow? I'll be discussing four things today, that is telephonic, text messaging, and WhatsApp, email, and social media. Let us first focus about telephonic etiquettes. Communication should be clear. Now, the very first thing, when we talk to someone in person, the factors which are important is they watch our body language, they see our facial expression, they see our gestures. Okay, so they can judge us with these three things. These various factors matter when we speak to a person in person. But when we are on a telephonic call, when we telephone, we use a telephone to call someone. What plays a major role is your verbal communication. How is your voice tone? Is it harsh? Are you polite? Are your thoughts, whatever you're speaking, is matching with your voice or not? Is matching with your voice tone or not? That plays an important role. So we have to keep in mind that we should be very polite and soft when we talk to someone on phone. The next thing is right time. Now, usually what happens is, since nowadays, because of this pandemic, we are with the gadgets all the time, on the phone or on the laptop. We do not see the time that is it a right time to call the person? Is it lunch time, dinner time, bedtime, late night? We just think that, okay, we can make a call to them, but it is wrong. Usually, your professional calls should be done from Monday to Friday in weekdays, in working hours only. You can't disturb anyone on the weekend. And even if you feel like that's something important which you need to talk about, you should always text the person saying that, can I disturb you by making a call because there's some urgent thing which we need to discuss. So it's always good to put a message before you call. It thinks that at times it happens that if we are driving from one place to another, the driver is driving the car and we are sitting at the back, and we feel we have nothing to do, so let's make a phone call. But do keep a track. What is the time? Is it a right time to talk to the person or not? And keep a track, especially for professional calls. Professional calls you should always do on weekdays. Once you have fixed the time to talk, you always have to select a right place to talk. Right place in the sense, the where you are placing a phone call, there should be no noise. The room where you are, it should be a quiet place. You should not have noise. There should be no interruption. Sometimes it happens that we are on phone and the television at the back is on high volume, and the person who is listening to you is not able to listen but is only able to listen to the song which is played at the back. Either if you are standing near the window, there is a hell lot of noise of the vehicles honking and going around, so the again the person is having problem listening to you. So you have to keep a track. You have to choose a very right place where you can make your call. The most important thing is also, when you make your call, you have to jot down the points. If it's a professional call, always jot down the points what you are going to discuss, because your call should not go long like other conversation and you don't know the main point you forgot to say. So you should always jot down the things which you are supposed to say on the call. Now, how to begin your call? You have to begin your call with a very cheerful greeting. No doubt you had a bad day, or you have a headache, or you had a fight, or you shouted on your kids. Nothing, but you have to just keep this aside, and when you are on call, you have to have a cheerful greeting, saying a cheerful good morning or a cheerful good afternoon or good evening. And the next thing is that you have to address the person by his or her name. It's always advisable, or it's a good idea, to address the person by his or her name. You can always add ma'am and sir, but you can address the person by name. Now, things to be kept in mind. What happens is, when we make a phone call and we are on phone and the other person is speaking to us, we tend to pick up the things which are around us. Either we doodle on the book with the pen, either we just play with the pen or a paperweight or anything which is around. So these all things, they drift our mind away from the talk. We are not totally present to what the person is speaking, so we don't have to do that. We also tend to do that. We are nowadays, it's like we hold the phone like this, do some things with the other hand, and we don't know what the person is speaking, and then we ask the person to repeat what you said. So that's not good. Sometimes it happens we are doing two work at a time. We are listening to the phone call also, and we are giving some commands to the maid or to the children, saying that okay, don't do this. So even that is not advisable. You have to, and especially for professional calls, you are not supposed to do all this thing. If you're talking to your friend, it's okay, but if it's your professional call, you are not supposed to do this. The other thing which you have to keep in mind is never to keep the person on hold. If you're receiving somebody's else call, you always have to ask the person, can you excuse me because there's something urgent which I need to attend? And then you can attend the other call. And when you get back to the person, you have to apologize for that and then get back to your conversation. So it is said that you can't just keep the person on hold and attend the other call. You always have to ask the person, you have to take the permission, you have to excuse yourself, and then go and attend, in case if it is urgent. Otherwise, it is not good to keep anybody on hold. Especially professional calls should not be kept on hold. So this way, few telephonic etiquettes. Moving ahead, text messaging and WhatsApp app. Just like calls, what we feel, oh, we are just supposed to message, that we can do anytime. Sometimes it happens that somebody who is not getting a good sleep, they feel, let me finish off messaging and finish my work, and morning I'll be waking up late. And the person whom he or she has messaged, when he wakes up and take the phone, there are hell lot of messages to read. So it is not like that, that you follow the rule only while making a phone call. Also, while texting someone, you have to keep the time in mind, especially professionally. Professional messages, you have to keep the time in mind. Again, the same thing follows. Only on Monday to Friday, weekdays, you finish off with your professional messaging, texting, or your calls or everything. You do not have to disturb the person during weekends until and unless it is urgent. Your message should be short, clear, and polite. It should not be so long that the person is just ignoring and is not reading the message. Clear to the point, short, clear, and polite. No short forms. In the professional messages, you're not supposed to use OK, TLS, no short forms. If abbreviations are there, it's okay, but you're not supposed to use short forms. You're not supposed to use emojis also in your professional messages. Email etiquettes. This is the most important form of business communication, and it is the easiest tool, but it is also, we can say, a one-sided one, because we do not know when the person will read it and reply back to us. So before I move ahead, I would like to say, when should you do the email? First of all, you need to sit and decide that what is my agenda. This thing which I want to convey to the authorities or to the our colleagues or anyone, can I sort it out verbally? Can I talk to them verbally? If it is possible verbally, you do not need to go for email. But if you feel that you need to mail it and mention it and you want to inform them, then you go for email. So you first have to decide that if it is verbally, you can convey the message, you can go and talk to them and then that. But for email, these are the few things which you need to keep in mind. Use your official email account. Everybody has a personal account and an official account. Your professional email account only should be used when you are doing your official messages. So your school or your institution, your organization, your company must have given you the email ID which you are supposed to use. Now, when you're mailing to your heads, you are not supposed to put any personal notes, because it happens that when we frame a mail and when we want to say something to them, we drench out our emotions in that, and then we tend to forget that we are mailing this and it's going to be as a record. It will be used as a record. So you have to control your emotions and just to the point you are supposed to write what you want to convey to them. You always have to create a signature. That is, you have to write your name, your designation, your name of the institution, your postal address, your landline number, your mobile number, and if you have a website, you can mention that also. So this is the creating your signature. When you complete the mail, this should be there, where at the bottom of the mail. Time to reply. Now, what's the time to reply? 24 hours. Within 24 hours, you should reply to the mail which you have received. Even if you're not able to reply to the mail, you should at least acknowledge and say, received your mail, thanks, and will be replying you soon. Something, one sentence you should mention, but you should not keep someone waiting for your mail to answer. So you should always reply the mail within 24 hours. Be very clear about what you want to convey. Again, I am saying your mail should be short and sweet. What was the purpose of writing this mail? What you want from them to do, and what is the time duration? Are you giving them any duration that within this time I'm expecting your reply or something? So it should be very short and clear, and in short and clear way, you should be able to convey what you want to say. using proper font size. It is always advisable that you use Times Roman, Arial, and the font size has to be 12. Now, when you want to highlight something, that is the most important part which your heads or your departmental heads or your boss should read, then you can highlight that, make it bold. You can also use bullets. So that's all okay. Appropriate subject line. Now, your subject line should be very specific, so that reading the subject line only, the person should come to know that what your mail is all about. Your subject line should never be written in caps. Nothing should be all caps. That is considered to be very rude. You should not write the subject line in caps. Secondly, it is very easy to search for your mail in your inbox when you mention a proper subject line. Even mentioning using emojis are equally considered as sin in email etiquettes. You should not use emojis in your email. Keeping it short and simple. Again, your mail should be short and simple, conveying what you want to and what your expectations are. Draft it and read it. A very, very, very important point. Read Proofreading is very much important. This is a one sort of like document which is going to go to them and it's going to stay with them. And so you have to spell check. You always have to look for your spellings. You have to check for your grammar. You have to check for your punctuations. And you always have to see that whether you are not using color fonts. So draft and read it nicely, because once it is gone, you are not going to be able to get it delete. Always check the person whom you want to send. You have given a proper ID. You have mentioned everything in the mail and it goes to someone else who is not supposed to read this. So that is also going to create a problem. So give enough time to read whatever you have framed. Once, twice, whatever you have framed, you give enough time and read it nicely. Ending your emails is also playing an important role. You can write best wishes, best regards, thank you for giving your time to read my mail, hoping your response soon, or looking forward for your answer. You can always mention that. So this was about email. Next is social media. We all know nowadays we are on social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything. But in our professional life, where we are educators, it is always advisable to keep our professional and our personal account separate. Keeping this account separate is very much beneficial, because when we keep one account and our heads or our other persons or boss or principal is also there in our friend list, so our personal picnic photographs or some other photographs, it doesn't look nice if we post them on FB. So it is always advisable you keep your professional account and your personal account separate, so that you are also attached with your professional colleagues in a professional way. You can put the photographs of Teachers Day, any seminars which you are attending, any workshops you are attending, whatever related to your profession, you can put there. And your personal life is also your personal corner, so that you can just put whatever your picnic photographs or your anniversaries, your birthdays, anything in your personal account, which you have a bunch of personal good friends on that. In your professional account, it is always advisable that you could keep a good photo and a brief introduction, where you do not put anything related to your personal life. Don't reveal your personal life. You can just give a brief introduction and a good photo of yours. If you somebody is sending you a request, or do not immediately accept the request. You evaluate, research about it. Is the person correct? Should I accept the request? Take some time and then accept the request. Respect other person's decision. You have sent some request to someone, but that person is not accepting, so you can't go on giving him the request. It's okay if he doesn't want to connect with you. It's not at all good that you keep on requesting the person to connect with you and accept your friend request. It's always good to stay in touch with your friends. That is, wishing them on their birthdays or just giving them best wishes for some new ventures, and giving them, you can convey some good thoughts with them. So it is always good, a very nice gesture to stay in touch with your friends. Whenever you find a nice post, do like and comment. That's also a wonderful gesture which you are going to do with your friends on a social media. But the only thing is, especially where there are students who are in higher secondary, and they do follow, so the group of professional should be separate and the personal should be separate. That's what I mean to say. This is a quick recap which I did. Always use spell check and write clearly. No emicons, no all caps, and no short forms. Be respectful of other people's time. Do not bombard other with any form of communication. Give them time and space they need to respond. Present your best at all times and all platforms. So this is something which you need to remember and do not forget. So these were the few etiquettes which I wanted to share with all of you, especially when we all are now on our gadgets and laptops and all electric gadgets. So, Mona.
Yeah. Wonderful etiquette tips, Sharmishta. And I would like to say, in these times when digitalization is a boon for us, it is our duty to see to it that it doesn't convert into a bane. And your tips are really, though they are very small tips, but they are very useful and very important. And I should say that though people know all this, but it is very much important to keep on implementing it, and good that you helped us refresh all this. Thank you so much, Sharmishta, for being with us. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you, Mona. Always my pleasure to come on Thai.
thank you so much. And here is Mona Bhatt with Sarmesh Tapamar signing off with a promise to be with you all next Tuesday. Till then, stay safe, take care, bye.
Bye.